This is the toddler sized yoke sweater, layer 1. These are the tensions you should use. Alright, we are going to knit this beautiful sweater using the tensions I just got from this tension swatch. We have 15.5 centimeters for 40 stitches and 15.5 centimeters for 60 rows. We are going to do our reductions when we have pink. So when we start knitting our 30 stitch card, at row 8 we have a row of pink. So on that pink row we will do our reductions. On the next row of pink, it would be nice to do the reductions there too, but we're actually going to wait until after we finish the last row of white and pink, and then we will do a third reduction when we go to attach the collar, or attach it to the collar. I'm going to use my garter bar because it's just faster for me. When we get to the last layer of this yoke, I will remove on waste yarn, and then we will knit the collar, and then we'll attach the two pieces to the collar. That is today's challenge. I'm going to get the entire yoke knit today and start the top down knitting on the other 4 pieces of this sweater tomorrow, if I don't do it this afternoon. I know we all love that pretty pink, but it's not the colors we're using. That pretty pink was just for the tension swatch. We're taking a deep breath. We're going to reset our row counter to 000. We are going to go 65 left and 65 right. We are going to use the cast on comb and some waste yarn. I am going to utilize my solid dark color, or what is going to be color 2, for my waste yarn. So I may confuse you guys a little bit, but it's just easier for me than changing out yet another yarn for this project. I don't think I'll have any problems, but we'll see. So we're going to start with bringing in the cast on comb. Okay. I have a nice wide one here. It goes the full length. Hang on. Okay, that is just my fine knit bar. I don't tend to remove it. My dark color is fluorescent green. So fluorescent green will be color 2 and my waste yarn. There is the first row. I am clipping, releasing, and releasing the yarn there. Deep breath. We now need some claw weights. I'm going to start with 4. If you only have 2, use 2. I need to bring forward the stitches. Now I have 1 extra stitch. I will reduce that stitch after I knit across. you know what? I'm going to wait one extra row. That'll just be easier. Sorry, there's some leftover yarn there. Deep breath. I'm going to knit 10 rows of waist yarn. All right, we're done with the waist yarn. I'm going to give it a little snip. Secure it. I'm going to secure it into my cast on home because that's what that's for. I'm going to take my other clip off so I can find it. We now need to up our tension to our working tension of 7. We need to turn on our knitting machine if you're using electronic. If you are using a punch card machine, now you put in your punch card and you load it to row 1. Resetting our row counter. Taking a deep breath. We're almost ready to go. I missed a step. 1 second, please. Okay, for this design on my machine at tension 7, going across now before I put in Fairisle or MC on my carriage, I will have at least 8 rows on the machine before my all my needles stay back for 1 row of color 1. I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to knit across. I'm not E-wrapping this time. Okay, so I forgot to put it into KC1. Take a deep breath. I'm going to remove my carriage. Go back. Putting my carriage into KC1, pressing both part buttons so that nothing knits. And I'm going to go across, resetting my row counter to 0s. And I'm basically re-knitting row 1. Okay, this is officially row 1. I am now taking out a part, pushing the needles back that I don't need. Deep breath. Let's go for row 2. Still nothing. Row 3. Okay. Now we finally have some extra patterning. So now we will bring the color 2 into our carriage. For me, color 2 is green. Your color 2 might be a totally different color. I'm going to try and refer to it to color 2, but if I don't, please forgive me. Again, deep breath, going across, pushing MC, and knitting across. Okay, so this row does not have any color 1 in it. You have choices. I'm going to make a simple choice and I'm cutting color 1. It's just easier for me to cut it than to have it drag across for the next row. Do not upset your other color. Just let it flow. Okay, coming back. Okay, we're now going to reintroduce the other, well, we're going to reintroduce color 1. I'm going to use a simple needle. And I'm just going to drop. I'm going to let you actually see. I'm going to drop that needle through the door and into where it needs to be. I'm now locking it on the cast on comb. Another deep breath, and we'll go back to how we were knitting. Okay, now that you can see the whole bed, I have not knit across yet. We are now doing row 7. Now row 7 says that we need a row of just white, so we can actually take out the color 2, hold it to the side, and knit across. I'm just going to lock it into the yarn break here. I also very carefully bring out the second last stitch, and I just grab that lead stitch. Okay, so this is 8. We are now going to do our reductions. So I have to do some math, and we'll figure out exactly where our reductions are going to be. Okay, so we have 104 stitches. So on 104, hang on, 104 stitches divided by 130 stitches equals 0.8. Let me write that down. So 0.8 is 3 singles, double, 3 singles, double, 3 singles, double. So we are going to move those now, and then we'll put it on the garter bar. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, double it up. 1, 2, 3, double these ones. 1, 2, 3, and double. So you're going to do this all the way across the work, and then we'll come back and put it on the garter bar. I should mention that if you were going to remove this on waste yarn, then put your carriage into NL, flip up your row counter so that you don't lose your row count, and then remove it on waste yarn, put your row counter back down, and put it back into KC1. If you are using a garter bar, you don't touch your carriage at all. You don't take it out of MC, you just leave it. And if you are going with waste yarn and you put it into KC again, make sure you press the MC button immediately, because you don't want to forget. Okay, like I said, we'll be back when I'm closer to the edge. Okay, I'm at the last few stitches here. 1, 2, 3 together. And then 1, 2, 3, and these last two are supposed to be together, but I'm just going to do the last two together. I don't mean the last two, but I'm not going to use the edge to put them together. I find that makes too much of a hassle. Okay, before I go too far, I need to lock my needle butts. And I need to remove my weight. Too much weight and the stitches won't stay where you need them to. Okay, so move this up nicely. Now these needle keepers, hang on, they go over the gate pegs to keep your needles from moving backwards as you are trying to put the garter bar on. I don't often show you guys me using them, but today's the day. Okay, latches are open. Putting my garter bar on. Looking. Everything looks good. Releasing my yarn from the thingy. It looks good. Okay. This is always the scariest part for me. You're a tour guide, not a prison guard, but some days you feel like a prison guard. You don't want them to sit on the latches for too long, because chances are it'll go behind the latch or in the latch instead of where you need it to. I can't get that, it's just gonna have to ring. All right. As you can see, we have one that actually went into the needle latch. It's okay though. I'm going to release the yarn. Now we very carefully pick it up. There's still stuff caught. Try not to move backwards and forwards and take them off of the needles. All right. Next up, layer 2.